What is going on out there, peeps? Let me get caught up in some Q&A sessions, okay? Because I'm a little bit behind. It's kind of hard not to get caught up in everything that's going on because it means so much. It means so much to a lot of people around the world. So I've been doing a lot of videos, of course, on what's going on in the news. I was going to kind of steer away from that again, but man, overwhelmingly, the vast majority of you like the Pimpy news. So I said, okay, but again, just trying to keep track of everything. Right now, everything almost seems in limbo. Not quite. We still got some things going on. So get into this Q&A so I can respond back to you guys. Once again, you guys, if you're thinking about buying some precious metals, give our friends over at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you are a first-time buyer anywhere in the United States or in Puerto Rico, and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. You guys know I'm on these, Twitter decided to remove me off restriction for whatever reason, so I'm happy about it. So Twitter, you guys know I'm on Parler, I'm on Mewe, and this is that because people are asking more about this. So this is called LBRY, all right? It's just like YouTube, except for you guys. I was told that even if you guys come on and you verify who you are through their account, in other words, instead of just signing in so you can watch videos, but you validate that you are who you say you are, you can earn cryptos just by watching videos, which is kind of neat. So it's something you might take in consideration. I mean, it's not a ton of money, but if you're just sitting there doing it all the time, like I do a lot of my research on the YouTube, so I do spend a lot of time listening to different content. I could do that over here and get paid just for looking at it. So, it's something you might take in consideration. I just thought I would share that with you. Nothing wrong with getting some free monies just to do what you do already. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. Austin, what do you think? What is this? I think that oh wait, real quick before I get into this, a lot of people are like, oh no, Judy Sheldon didn't make it in. No, she didn't make it in, but it's not final. So I think it was 3 of the Republicans were stuck at home with the Rona, and they have to be in house to vote. So they still went through the motions, but when it was all said and done, Mitch McConnell does what he does best. He knows how to work the Senate. So she's saved. It's not over. It's not finalized. He's just waiting for the 3 Republicans to come back because we have to fight against the 3 rhinos that are in there. So once these 3 are in there, I'm sure he'll hold a vote, and Judy Sheldon should make it through no problem whatsoever. All right. Of course, you got Mitt Romney fighting Trump at every. I don't know why a guy just don't turn himself into a Democrat. He's not a Republican. But nonetheless, let's get into this. So, no, Judy Sheldon, she is not done and over with. There's still an opportunity, and we will keep an eye on that. It says, I think that the most popular form of diversification is asset allocation. By having elements of different investment classes in your portfolio, including stocks, Bitcoin, real estate, gold, and other commodities, you could protect your portfolio from losing the value that it might if it were only in one, in other words, a failing asset. So here's my thing about it, and I agree with that 100%. But here's the thing. With what I'm anticipating as far as the crash is concerned, it's going to affect all assets across the board with the exception of precious metals, in my opinion. Now, I'm not sure what to think of cryptocurrencies, whether they will or will not be affected. But like I said, I think what we're seeing is people are rushing over to Bitcoin as a way to be safe from any type of bail-ins is what it is. But having said that, real estate, I'm anticipating dropping big time. Stocks crashing big time. So the one commodity that, or also, again, I would tell people, you definitely want to go out there and diversify what's going on. But the drop on where I think real estate is heading, yeah, I wouldn't jump in it right now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Minor stocks, I think, would do good in a crash. Precious metals would do good in a crash. As far as cryptocurrencies, I don't know, which they've never been there before for a real crash, if you get my drift. But yeah, definitely I agree with that 100%. Speaking of cryptocurrencies, if you guys are thinking about buying cryptocurrencies, there is a link in the description down below. Just click it and it'll take you to a place where you can buy cryptocurrencies. If you follow the link, it gives you $10 free just for signing up, just so you know. Let's see here. Crypto feels creepy to me. Never resonated with it. I keep stacking silver. Yeah, again, to me, the safest is always going to be precious metals. And I'm not a big fan of cryptocurrencies. But again, I said this before. I think there's an opportunity, a window of opportunity to make something off of it and get the hell out. I would change my mind about the way I feel about cryptocurrencies if it was supported. mm, as long as they don't go 100% digital, then I'd be fine with it. You know what I mean? My concern is they're really just trying to initiate everybody into using cryptocurrencies so that when we go to 100% digital, you'll be okay with that. And I'm not cool with that at all. That's not what I want. I would rather have a cryptocurrency that I can exchange for an asset-backed currency. I know why, Pimpy. They want us to be conditioned that digital currencies, gold and silver, a bad narrative because the Great Reset will involve government and IMF issuing their own digital currency. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, 201 right now. So, the funny thing is they're like, well, we open up to the public to get your opinion. No, they don't. They're lying to you. They already have their plan. They know what they want to do. They're not opening it up and they don't give a crap what you think. They want you to go 100% digital, period. So this way, if they go into a negative interest rate, you lose money for trying to save. And they don't want wealth transformation either. If you die, your money is gone. They don't want you transferring your wealth to the next generation. These are all the things that they're talking about, just so you know. And if you think I'm crazy, you need to pay attention to what AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Biden are talking about right now. They're actually literally pushing the Great Reset on us right now. So thank God Trump will get in there and then we won't have to deal with that. Okay, once Judy Southern is in place, Trump will expose the rest of the swamp rats. The lamestream media is the virus and Trump will get them last. Yep, the best is yet to come. And yes, trust the plan. Yeah, I'm at that point. I know, look, it's not so much the plan. I just have to just trust. No matter what happens, it's God's will. If you get my drift, if you watch the news, you'll pull your hair out if you're a Trump supporter, because they really want to deflate you. They really do. They don't want you to feel encouraged that Trump has a chance. I don't watch the news. I watch independent news. I watch foreign news, and then get an idea from there. But yeah, so they definitely Sheldon will get in there. Will get back to the either altogether the gold standard or form of the gold standard, something similar to it. Now, Judy Sheldon did talk about going into a possible go back cryptocurrency. If she can explain it to where it makes sense, then, like she said, it won't be 100% digital, which that's the thing I like. I don't want it to be 100% digital. I should be able to swap my currency, my digital currency out for any type of physical currency when I want to. Dude, your boy Charlie Ward told you himself XRP was the one, and everybody knows Charlie knew nothing about crypto. So what you're saying is, I'm confused about what you're saying. Is Charlie doesn't know anything about crypto, so don't buy XRP? Or that even though Charlie didn't know anything about crypto, even he was pushing XRP? I'm not sure what you're saying. So it doesn't make a difference. I know there's a lot of huge XRP fans out there. There's nothing about it that impresses me at all. And the reason for that is the people that are backing XRP are very, very shisty deep state people. I'm talking about the Federal Reserve, Goldman Sachs, you know what I mean, JP Morgan, George Soros are all getting behind XRP. That's not something that I want to jump into bed with them. But don't get me wrong, like every other cryptocurrencies that's out there, I believe there's a window of opportunity to make money off it. So go ahead and do it. I mean, I can't tell you guys what to buy into. Just me personally, I just express my opinion. I like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's what I'm sticking to at the moment. XRP gold standard. Everything seems to be falling into place one by one. No more Jay Clayton either. Regulations on the way. Yeah, so I did hear a rumor that they were talking about backing the XRP with gold, but then when I did a research, most of that talk comes from bloggers. I did see something mentioned in what looked like an official website. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But again, that's fine and dandy. But until they tell me which one it is and we know for sure, XRP is. Until they do it and I see it, I'll just go on the assumption it's not going to be done. Also, there are elements in silver that can be separated in small amounts for new technology. Yeah, which makes, again, silver that much more scarce. You know what I mean, Rock? I mean, that's what people don't realize. And plus, the ratio between gold and silver right now is ridiculous. I buy silver, and once the ratio is lower, then exchange some of my silver out for gold. And then there's people that make a living, that people that make a lot of money that way, paying attention to the market by paying attention to the ratios. You could do that. Thank you, Pimpy. I appreciate all your investment info. Well, Monica, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being aboard. I really, really do. Yeah, so I did hear back from YouTube. They're telling me just to reapply for monetization in about halfway through December. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm able to tough it out for a little while, and I'll continue to do that. But it makes it a little tough. If they're not going to give you any form of income, there's a reason why I don't want to do the Patreon. This stuff that I'm sharing with you should be free, in my opinion. But at the same time, when I used to, complain that other people were using their platform to push people towards Patreon on information you could get off the internet. Now I really get an idea why they do that. That's just their way of protecting themselves for the most part. But nonetheless, anyways, crypto investments are just like silver and gold. They are long plays, not short, get quick plays. Yeah, BS, I agree with you on that big time. Look, depending on how patient you are with, we'll talk about gold and silver first. The anticipation of where gold and silver will be between now and 10 years from now is crazy when I watch these experts. And they have all these graphs and proofs that prove what they're talking about. And it's just a thought that if you could tough it out and hold on to what you got and just keep adding to it, that's wow. That's all I gotta say is just wow. Cryptocurrency, since it's still kind of new, I am keeping an eye on it, but I agree. If you have discretionary funds, just leave it in there and don't mess with it. Just if you're watching the market every day, you will pull your hair out. Watching it is very volatile, but it seems that Bitcoin and Ethereum is definitely making a move. Pimpy, my man, yes, I'm feeling the same as you. I think they'll run up to around 1850, 1950 to bring in some of the silver herd, and huge drop. It's fast, like 8,800. Keep smiling, Cliff. Yeah, Cliff. Yeah, but here's the thing. We're already at 18,000. Like, look, 2 days ago, you put this on there. But look at this, 18,500. We're already there now. And let's take a quick peek. So 18,500. We'll see. Usually when it starts creeping up like this, you'll see people start selling some of their cryptocurrencies to grab some of their gains. You know what I mean? Let's see where we are in crypto. So look at, 18,000 was up a little bit higher than that. As a matter of fact, it got up to 18,749, and then it started coming down a little bit. Ethereum got up to 513, and it came down just a little bit. So they're still up there, but I showed you guys that graph on the gold and silver where Bitcoin, once it got between 14 and 15,000, took like, 21 days. And then once it got to 15 to jump up to 16, it was like 10 days. And then 16 to 17 was like, 5 days. And then 17 to 8, it went really quick after that. And that's what we're seeing happen right here. It literally went from what it seemed like, let's just look in the past month. So look at this. This is crazy. So on October 21st, which is not even, about 30 days ago, it was at $11,900, so almost 12,000. So it's up, was it 150% of where it was? So like, that's butt kicking. So you can understand why you'll see these drops from time to time. So if you bought like a bunch of them down here, and once it gets up that high, you want to benefit from your investments, so you sell some of them, is what you'll see, and then you'll see a small drop or a market correction. So yeah, just this month alone, look at this, you guys. So 11,900 is where it was, and we're at 18,528. That's crazy, just within a month. All right, just within a month. Ethereum, I don't know if it did that good, but let's take a look. Let's look at 1 month. So Ethereum was over here at 369. It's up to 507. So almost as good. But year over year though, Ethereum's killing it. Just so you guys know. All right, sorry about that, got sidetracked, but I wanted to show you. But yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you'll see this big of a dump. I think there's too much support higher than 18 or 8,800. I could see this dropping down to somewhere maybe, 16,000. Maybe that seems a little steep. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But I was betting with somebody, and I said, look, at the rate we're going, that it will hit 21,000 by the end of the year. So I bet that person. We'll see how close I am on that if it continues at the pace at a time. No, not getting notifications again. Shadow ban. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, you guys, if you want to just, you're not going to get notifications and stuff. They're punishing me because they didn't like me talking the truth about the vaccinations and the election. So they put me in timeout. There's no money coming from them. And because of that, I can't imagine them trying to support any of the videos. So you're not going to get notifications. Just come, I put videos out most every day. So just check in from time to time if you're interested in listening. In the case that Judy Shelton isn't confirmed, are you aware of the executive order JFK set? What is it? Executive Order 111110? Do you think this could be part of the plan? Why does that sound familiar? That's the silver certificates. Yeah. Is this part of the plan? So here's the thing. Executive order. So that executive order has been terminated. So, some executive orders will go and go until somebody cancels it. So JFK's executive order 11110 was already canceled. So unless they come up with a new executive order, is that possible? Knowing Trump, yeah, anything's possible. But I think what the JFK executive order was a modification on another one. What he was saying, instead of the Treasury needing permission from the president to create silver certificates, from what I remember about this, they could just do it. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. There's no doubt we're going into this new system, but what system we go into makes a difference. The Great Reset is making a push around the world, and they are pushing hard. They think Biden's going to be in office and that they have grabbed the holy grail of countries. And they think once they got United States, they can push this agenda around the world. That's what they're planning. It's not going to happen. So definitely once Trump gets in there a second term, then what you're going to see is us go towards a gold standard. But Shelton, she'll be in there. She'll get in. She'll get in there. I think it's a trap. Yeah, man, my little spidey hairs went up. Again, that's just my opinion. It's just me speculating. There's 2 reasons why I think the Bitcoin is going up. But yeah, it might be a trap. We're going to find out here real quick. That's for dang sure. Silverbugs have to look back to the Great Depression, the ratio before and after, to find the Constein. Yeah, I think back then it was like the ratio was like 15 or 16 to 1. Actually, I think it was, 15, 16, 20 to 1. Somewhere really, really super low. Super, super low. So if that happened now, and that ratio got that low, you see gold won't come down to the value of silver. Silver goes up to the value of gold. So once the ratio gets around 15 or 20, there's no doubt I would exchange a lot of my silver, just because silver is very volatile. But not a lot of it, just because I do think in the next 10 years, you might see the price of silver pass up gold with no problem, just because of the scarcity and the need for it, for all this new green technology. But we'll see. Great video, Pimpy. Thanks. Thank you, Pimpy. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking part. Questions. Assuming she does make it into the board of the Federal Reserve and a push is made to a gold-backed system, do you anticipate those numbers instantly transforming to reflect what's shown on the debt clock, or will it be done in tiers? Based on your last video shows it's discussed NESARA and other related aspects being used as a means to placate citizens, that would be a bit outraged after finding out all the truth with regards to what's going on these last 100 years between as far as the fraud and lies and peddles. Okay, so again, if we go 100% into the gold standard and we move into that new monetary system, a lot of experts, and there's a reason for it, a lot of experts believe what we see on the debt clock is the true reflection of the value of gold and silver. Okay? Having said that, I don't believe that debt clock is giving us an actual true value on the debt that we're in. I think it's much higher than that. Therefore, in order for us to match the gold and silver that we have to the debt that we have, it would be a much higher value. Again, that's just my opinion. How, even if it's 50% backs up our currencies, even just like, 50%, that's a huge jump in our silver and gold values, okay? So it's hard to say. It just depends on the route. If we're 100%, then I could see it jumping up that high. 50%, again, it's still going to jump up high, but my guess is that they're going for a full asset back, not just gold and silver. So we'll see. We'll see. Looks like it's a no. Same two scumbags voted no. Yeah, he's talking about the Sheldon election, whether or not she'll be in the Fed. Yeah, it's a no. They said no, but again, Mitch McConnell, who's a master at what he does, he just put it off. We'll probably see them get back in there in about 2 weeks. So where we at? So either by the end of November or beginning of December, he will have already rallied with all the other Republicans to figure out how many votes he has and go ahead and get Sheldon aboard then. Once she's aboard, there's nothing they could do. She's there for 7 years. I tried to buy crypto through Coinbase and it won't work. It says purchase went through, but doesn't take money from my account. Tried my Visa debit and also my credit. So here's the weird thing. Sometimes when you're first new there, Jim, it won't happen right away. Like there's this weird lag time when you first start buying crypto from Coinbase. It's just for your own protection and want to make sure that, Coinbase wants to make sure that you're not somebody stealing money from somebody else. And your bank, you might have to call your bank to see if there's been an attempt, because sometimes what will happen is your bank will stop it and then wait for you to contact them to let them know that it's okay to work with Coinbase. So make sure you check in with both of them. But yeah, when I first got on there, I made all kinds of boo-boos and kept trying to do purchases thinking I don't see any purchases on there. And I kept trying to buy like $500 and I did like 4 times and didn't realize that I actually had accidentally made, $2,000 worth of purchases. And so you got to be careful about that. When Coinbase tells you, it'll say confirm the buy. Once you confirm it, it'll give you you'll see on there a display of what your transaction is. So once you see that, don't do anything else. Just wait for it to get in there. It shouldn't take long. I think when I first did it the first time, it was like 5 days before it was done. After that, it was much quicker. As time goes on, it gets much quicker. Now I can have it done in like a day. It goes back, forth, pretty quick. It's their last trick. Get us to buy digital currency and get our tangible real money. Yeah, again, with everything that's going on, there seems to be a huge play towards crypto, or not cryptocurrencies, but precious metals. There's a lot of powers that be making a grab for it, and there's a scarcity of it. So I think they'll stoop to any level to do what they can to buy their precious metals, or to get their hands on it one way or another. So today, if I had $200, do you recommend silver or Bitcoin? I'm not a financial advisor, so it's really hard for me to tell you what you should do with your money. I guess it just depends on what you want to do, short and long term. For me, always my first response is always to go right into silver, because it is tangible. You can own it, and Bitcoin is still it's a cryptocurrency, and to me, it's another version of a fiat currency for now. That might change later on, so I don't have a lot of trust in it. But having said that, I do have cryptocurrencies. Okay, but for me, it will always be the precious metals are always for me a safe bet. You know what I mean? In my opinion. With NESARA, wasn't the Fed supposed to be history? Yeah, that's the plan, as you can see, according to the NESARA GESARA outline. But even forget NESARA GESARA, that's also Trump's plan is to do that. So, either way, whether they officially call it NESARA GESARA or whatever, it's something I think Trump is working on. Hi, Pimpy, I listened to your show and you talk about NESARA GESARA. Do you think do you know what a straw man is? Yes, a straw man is who we are. You, me, anyone that has a birth certificate in America. I will fight for what rightfully belongs to me and to get back what was stolen from me and by our corrupt politicians dating back to 240 years. I am hoping Trump follows through, what God really has intended for him. We, the people, keep up the good work and check that out. Yeah, I know what a straw man is, Tina. And look, I absolutely, with all my heart, feel that, well, I shouldn't say feel, know that Trump is going to get in there a second term. And there's going to be huge sweeping changes like we've never seen in our country. And one of those things is, without a doubt, Trump going after those individuals who's probably been robbing us for so many years and doing what he can to help out the Americans or help out us. Hey, Pimpy, do you have any updates on the Project Reset? There's no, again, we are seeing two different monetary systems in a race. You have the Great Reset, which is the New World Order agenda. They have their own monetary reset that they're forcing on us right now, aggressively. Then you have what I believe Trump's version of it, which is to take us all back to the gold standard. So I think what the holdup is on everything, although the Great Reset people, these New World Order globalists, are being super, super aggressive. You could see as soon as they thought Biden won, we magically got a new wave of outbreak, and then now they're wanting everybody to stay home, and they're talking about basic, universal basic income, and then throwing you in jail, if you know what I mean. They're really stepping over people's rights. People are starting to get fed up, but I'm thinking we're beyond that point. You got to get past being fed up. You got to get in large groups. And I'm not talking about a couple hundred. I'm talking about a couple 100,000, and show up at these people's doors, these politicians, all right, and let them know that you're serious. And if they keep this up, or just demand, you don't have to look at consent. Complying is consent. If you're doing what they tell you to do and all you do is complain about it, then you're consenting to what they're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't comply. I don't care if they talk about how much money you got to pay. Look, if there's hundreds of thousands of you in your neighborhood and all of you are out doing your own thing, you open up your business, who cares what they say? They could try to catch all of you, but they can't. And what you do as a community is you get behind one another, you support it. When if they come to a business and they try to close it down, don't let it happen. You are way more numbers of you than there are them. What do you think they're going to do? Bring in the military? You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. Don't comply. Is all you have to do. Remember, complying is consent. Just don't do what they say. I don't wear my mask. I get into it with people in the store sometimes, but I refuse to do it. I know what a mask does. It does not protect you from the Rona or any other of those sicknesses. G20 this week, the world will go crypto. That's what they're trying. That's not what we want. I can't sell mine. It's too beautiful. And if it goes way up, I'm still going to have a hard time giving it up, Pimpy. Trump is going to take Bitcoin out. I think so. There was if not Trump, other governments are already taking it out. Look at, if this so-called Great Reset gets their way, they're not going to allow anything like Bitcoin. They're not going to allow any other cryptocurrencies to compete with their money. That's the way they look at it. They will set up a system in which they can drain you of your money like they've been doing for a long, long time. The last thing they're going to want is somebody to compete with them. Why do you think they bash gold and silver so much? Because gold and silver is a threat to their power. They don't like it. There are always policies against it. They'll create policies telling you it's for your own good when it's absolutely against what's good for you. The same thing would happen with Bitcoin. So if I'm going to get behind cryptocurrencies at all, it has to be decentralized. It has to have open source that, those people that know what the hell they're looking at can look at it. It has to be monitored. It has to be audited. And it has to be able to exchange it for whatever currency I want, period. Then I'd get behind it. Yes, Pippy. It's a CB and DS strap. XRP and XLM are not a part of it. You're watching something we in crypto space have been speculating on this too. We dubbed it popcorn optics. Yeah, popcorn, I like that. So yeah, again, I see where XRP is going. They might be the chosen currency, but if you think it's going to get up anywhere over $1, you're sadly mistaken, because what they'll do is, and I think this is what they're really going to do. There's too many banks aboard with this. So I think more of what you're going to see happen is XRP is going to become equal to $1, is what it is. And the banks are going to use XRP to do commercial transactions. That's what they're going to use it for. You're not going to see it go way up there in value. I don't see that happening at all. Everything that I've seen happen so far, you got the Federal Reserve that wants to use it. You got our banks that want to use it. You know, they have all these contracts with these people. They have contracts with, you know, these credit card companies, these different cash app companies, but all they are is different versions of the bank. So again, you're going to see them most likely be used for the sole purpose of banking. But if that's the case, then what would be a benefit to the powers that be to have a cryptocurrency that goes up and down in value really high? That doesn't make no sense. They would just stabilize it, or they would just put some kind of freeze on its value. Trust me, they'll find a way to do it. They'll regulate it, okay? And it's not going to get much higher than that. But that's why you don't want us to go into that great reset. That would restrict its value. Trust me, they will. But as far as the free market is concerned, that's different. There's an opportunity for you to benefit as an investor into it. Great video. Thanks again, Pimpy. Question though, I've been watching videos on Coinbase for free cryptos, and it's been great, free money. However, now I have a small amounts from many random companies. So should I trade these in for more, say Bitcoin or Ethereum? There are two cryptos I've bought. Or hold them. So I guess here's what it is. Again, here's what I'm saying, Lori. It's up to you. I can tell you what I did. I don't know anything about those other cryptos, and I really think there's too many cryptos out there, and I'm anticipating that eventually they'll find an excuse to dwindle down to a small handful of cryptocurrencies being allowed to be out there at all. So having said that, there's different tokens that are created to do different things. So like the energy token, there's something about I like, you know what I mean? Ethereum, Bitcoin, you know what I mean? They have these different things. EOS, what are the other ones? Die Maker, you know, these things each have their own niche. So if one of these coins is in an industry by themselves, or you know, is the strongest in that industry, then I can see where we would keep it. Another one like the energy coin, I can see why that would be a good investment, only because you know, it's unique in what it does. Not all cryptocurrencies are the same. They all have different functions, so you need to learn and research on that. But what I did with all the free coins that I earned from the videos, I just transferred mine all into Ethereum is what I did. That's what I did. So even when I still, as long as I've been there, every now and then a new coin will come into Coinbase, and I'll go and watch the videos, earn the coins, and then just turn around and transfer them over back into my Ethereum. That's what I do. So it's up to you which ones you like, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being diversified. Who knows? But I showed you in the last video I did today about gold and silver. I don't like the fact that all the cryptocurrencies seem to move together. So if they're doing bad, they all do bad. If they're doing good, they're all doing good. Or they seem to be pegged to Bitcoin, which to me is another reason it's a red flag. They should be operating independently based on market demand. The fact that they move up and down with Bitcoin is a big disappointment. So they seem to be pegged to Bitcoin, which to me is a huge red flag. The tribe are pumping Bitcoin. As far as gold, you simply cannot find the physical. At least where I am. Nope, it's like that. It's getting harder and harder. Now, retail's different. You know, for now, you remember what happened in July when they ran really short and orders got really behind? So, again, I'm anticipating this December, if they start gobbling up what's out there, it's going to make it harder for retailers to get it. The supply, the demand, it's just going to drive the price up. Citibank analysis said Bitcoin would hit over 300,000 by the end of 2021. When news talks about that, FOMO happens. So for those who don't know, FOMO is fear of missing out. Either way, it's good to have some just in case. So, yep. I agree. But also when you see that, it's also when anybody like Citibank does this and they pump it up, to me, I go, okay, what is their real goal? Well, if Citibank's pumping it and they're telling everybody it's going to be 300,000, you're going to get a lot of people out there that don't do the research, don't know anything about cryptocurrencies. They jump in Bitcoin thinking, yeah, you know, Citibank says it's probably going to get to 300,000, and they get all hyped up on a false story. Everybody gets in there, and then it doesn't happen, and then it crashes, and then, you know, you sold all your precious metals or whatever, or it crashes, and they sell once it gets to a point. So they tell you 300,000. Let's just say Bitcoin's at what, 18.5? So they probably set it up to once it hits 25,000 because everybody's seeing it go up and up, and they're like, yeah, Citibank said it's going 300,000. More and more people are jumping in there, but they have a sell-off. So as soon as it hits 25,000, bam, they sell all their coins, causes the market to bottom out. Whoosh, all you guys lose your money, and then they turn around and buy the Bitcoin again, cheaper. It's a vicious cycle, but that's what they do, a pump and dump. Okay. But like you said, I agree. Look, whenever you're investing into anything, no matter what it is, you have to tell yourself, whatever amount I just invested into this particular investment, if all of a sudden it crashed and I lost all my money that I've invested into this particular item, how is that going to affect my life? You know what I mean? So if you're like, well, it doesn't, because this is my discretionary funds, and this is why I encourage you to invest using discretionary funds. Discretionary means that little extra money that you have. Invest using discretionary funds so that if something does happen to your investment and you lose everything, it doesn't affect your life. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't affect you at all because you are still making your money that covers your bills and your, your cost of living and, everything you need to just live day by day. So not that you want it to go down to zero, but do you understand what I mean? If it's when you invest money, you should have it in your mind, whatever money I'm investing, if all of a sudden I lost it, how does that affect my life? It shouldn't affect it at all, to be quite honest with you, because you should be doing what you need to do to, get by with your everyday life. And investments, that's a bonus if it works out. But again, there's risk in all investments. Some are more riskier than others. That's why I love precious metals. To me, there is no risk with precious metals if you're thinking long term. I don't trust anything that Citibank says. Okay, hi Pimpy. I think you are right. They are trying to manipulate the markets to scare us into selling. I'm not selling any of my precious metals. I will, however, buy more blocks with the ISX. Yeah, I have mine. I set a goal, so I have them. I think that's another one of those investments because they will be paying out dividends. Again, because you're buying into the stock, and that's one of those ones. So even if there's a rate change, just so you know, I wouldn't sell my stock. You know what I mean? Because the rate change is a once in a lifetime thing. You know what I mean? The rate change happens, you benefit from it, but that's it. So if the rate change happens, you benefit from it in the ISX, but now you also get paid out dividends for as long as you hold the stocks. So that's like getting a paycheck every time they pay it out. So I wouldn't part with my ISX stocks. I would just hold on to them. It's getting harder to keep the faith. First every day in October, it was October, surprise. Then it was going to be in November, as if October never happened. Now we're moving into December, and we are saying by the end of the year, what happens when we get to the holidays? Will it be okay? It's going to happen by March, kind of like a Russia collusion report that Barr never came out with, and that we waited an extra year for. So what are we talking about? My October gold, I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. So again, we had anticipated, there was reasons to, Andrew, just so you know, there was tons of reasons for this to happen, but you can clearly see the manipulation, and it's not like a little manipulation. They went hardcore to keep the prices down. So there should have been something that happened in October, something in November. Yeah, again, we're getting to December. Look, sooner or later, they're going to run out of tricks up their sleeves. They can't keep the price down forever. Last time when the price started to take off, they had to sell a record number of shorts, and it was a ridiculous amount just to make sure the price did not go up too far. They can't keep doing that because eventually that would nip them in the ass. And what I mean by that is eventually the price will take off. Remember when it was going up and up and up and up and up before it kind of dipped down a little bit in July, and then it went up and up and up again? There was like 3 banks that were selling shorts, and they were losing hundreds of thousands of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars every day. It was like let me reword that. So for every $1 that the value went up on the precious metals, they were losing $100 million. So, again, they had to make a market correction. So having said that, they're selling a ton of shorts. One of these times when they do that to try to manipulate the price, it's not going to work, and it's going to cost them everything. But it's better if they don't sell the short, so they can just let the market flow freely like it should. But it's not kicking the can down the lines. We all saw what was going to happen. We also saw the effort it took to keep the prices down. So this isn't BS, or this isn't, what do you want to call it? Kicking the can down the road. We literally can see what the market's doing, and just know that they are doing anything and everything they can to manipulate the price. All we can do is just let them do what they're doing, but at the same time, it does benefit you. It allows you more and more time to stack at this price, because it isn't going to stay there. All right, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you are not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.